The early 20th century was marked by the degeneration of social and cultural values in society. For example, in British India, patriarchy was the norm. Now, what does this mean? It means that women were necessarily kept away from the public sphere. They were not encouraged to be educated, they were deprived of training, and even they were not allowed to enter the courtroom to practice as lawyers or advocates. And therefore, women were invisible in the field of law, legislation, public health, education, science, and more. Why so? Because women were defined narrowly by their roles in the traditional sense as homemakers and child caretakers. That restricted them to their domestic spheres only. In this backdrop, in the year 1905, a baby girl, Anna Chandy, was born in the state of Kerala to a Syrian Christian family. Now, one may argue, what is so special about a baby girl being born? She's born every now and then. Anna Chandy, after she finished her schooling, she went ahead to complete her post-graduation in law from the Government Law College at Tiruvananthapuram from the state of Kerala in the year 1926. After that, in 1929, just 3 years later, she decided to work as a barrister in criminal law. A barrister in British India was a person who was arguing or representing an individual or an organization in court, and the bar or the inn summoned the person to represent the case because they were considered as legal experts in that field. It is important to mention here that courtrooms opened for women only in the year 1923 after the passing of the Legal Practitioners Women Act in 1923. Till then, women were not even allowed to enter the courtroom or argue their cases as lawyers or advocates. So there were no women judges yet. Anna Chandy believed to think differently. It is also said that if you want to influence, think big. If you want to reach far, think different. And if you want to work on a mission, think wider. Anna Chandy decided to contest for elections in the year 1930 from the Sri Mulam Popular Assembly in the state of Tiruvananthapuram, Kerala that is. And she wanted to make an influence. But a woman contesting for elections, entering the public sphere, the opponents and the journalists launched a smear campaign against her, alleging her to have an affair with the then Diwan of the princely state of Travancore, P.C. Rangaswamy Iyer. Now, this is a common discriminatory practice that is widely used against women, character assassination. Anna Chandy lost the elections, but she did not lose hope. And so the next year, she again contested for the same elections. By now, she was a well-known public figure. So she won the elections for the term 1932 to 1934. Anna Chandy also believed that for women to express themselves, they need a platform. And so she launched the Malayali magazine, Shrimati, for women to be able to write freely about their personal issues and discuss several other gender matters. She argued vehemently for women's reproductive rights. She argued against, she was for widow remarriage, and she also asserted that women need to be paid the same amount of wages as men when they worked in the farms. Mind you, they were paid lesser than men while they worked on the farms, and this discrimination exists even today. Anna Chandy was a champion of equal rights. She also advocated against the misogynist practices that affected and impinged upon women's daily lives. In a public gathering, a well known intellectual, T.N. Venupillai, was mentioning about against the reservation of government jobs for women. Anna Chandy did not agree with him and she voiced her opinion saying that women have a right to reservation in government jobs. They need to be promoted and therefore they need a platform. Anna Chandy also asserted the fact that women need to be given death penalty in a Travancore law when actually they were exempted from death penalty, but the male counterparts were not. In another law, she asserted that women have to have conjugal rights, whereas men were given the conjugal rights without the wife's consent. Now, this was not fair. In the year 1930, Anna Chandy was appointed as a munsif. A munsif is a local judge, a native local judge in the civil court during the British times, when the British ruled in India. After that, let's move a little further. In the year 1948, she was promoted to become a district judge. And then in 1959, she was appointed as the High Court judge of Kerala, setting a new milestone for herself of not only becoming the first woman judge in India, but also the Commonwealth nations. Commonwealth nations are a group of countries that come together based on the principles of democracy, the general welfare of the people, and believe strongly in human rights. Anna Chandy, after she retired, she worked as a member of the Labour Commission in India. And at the age of 73, in the year 1971, she published her autobiography, Atmakatha. Anna Chandy died in the year 1996 at the age of 91. Anna Chandy fought. She fought against regressive stereotypes that prevented women from coming into the public sphere. She fought against the stereotypes that dominated women. In a male-dominated society, she proved that women can. Thank you.